Hello, hello. All right, so this is a bonus general message, so it's not sign specific. And I always start these out with something real that happened, some anecdote about something that my dog did, and then we see if that sets the tone for anything. So today, oh my gosh, he he walked me all over the place. My dog was like, oh, he just could have walked forever. He was so happy, so excited, and I just decided, yeah, let's go extra long. I could use it too. So it was just a really nice. We just had a really nice time together, as I always do with my dog. But our walks are really one of the highlights of my day too. So, in any case, yeah, maybe that's going to set the tone. Maybe somebody was like really pushing, really, really putting some energy out there. We got the Wizard of Awareness, card number 3. We have Ride the Wave, card number 14. We have Magic Stream, card number 18. And we have Details, card number 43. Everything here looks like movement to me. Everything. Wizard of Awareness is like someone is becoming more focused on the fact that the things that they do in life are actually creating like roadmaps of where they're going. And part of them is saying, okay, so wait a second, if my thoughts are that powerful and I'm starting to like, have things kind of envelop because I'm subconsciously taking subtle steps towards something, at some point, we can drive our dreams forward to a certain extent, and then at some point we have to kind of just see what comes of it, what happens. There's we have a character who's becoming aware of just what a powerful manifestor they are, and at the same time they have created the actions and reactions that are currently happening, but now is a time to step back and surrender and say, okay, here we go. Whatever comes of that action I just took, I got to just wait and see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have every suspicion that it's going to be good. Well, this says yes, it is going to be very, very, very good. Somebody put action into play, something that they had wanted to do for probably quite a while. And by simply thinking about things, planning on things, and then allowing those things to take place and take shape, we have liftoff is what I want to say. And here's the part where you just wait and you see how it unfolds. With this magic stream, this is like saying the abundance is about to start flowing in for a character. Now, when they start to receive these different forms of abundance, or this I'll say this payload or this reaction, that's where they're really going to need to be mindful. They're really going to need to pay close attention to what they put in motion. Okay. So obviously, I'd like to find out, what is this? With this Wizard of Awareness, what was it that somebody was, constantly like putting their mental energy toward, and now they've created this opportunity? Oh, the Sun. This is somebody who wanted great happiness in their life. This is somebody, could be a divine masculine, who's taken this action. They had a plan and they said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to execute this plan because what I really want is I want to be happy. This could have been something that they literally put into action 3 months ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 years ago. But it took the turning of, lots of different wheels and cogs before this was going to happen. But this was a plan very well laid out. Wow. The Death card and the Chariot. 3 major arcana to describe this character's choice that they made. So somebody laid a foundation and laid a plan and a groundwork for something that they wanted a long time ago. And they saw this as happiness. They saw this as fulfillment. They saw that they could finally close one chapter of their life and truly be free of it and move forward. They saw it as an opportunity to alter their path in life, and really to I want to say that they really needed to complete something that was holding them back, and they wanted to really be free of it. So I don't know if this was a plan that somebody had where it's like, I'm going to sell my business in 3 years so that I don't have to have that anymore. I can retire in 3 years. I could sell my home in 3 years, or do something that would allow them to have a very different life. Something that would probably allow them more freedom, more mobility, the ability to go someplace totally different. Whatever this is, we got strong Leo, we've got strong Scorpio, we've got strong Cancerian there. I don't know. I don't know why I kept just wanting to say chariot. Cancerian. So they've put everything in motion. Things are happening. Tell me about riding the wave at this point. This is like really excellent stuff is about to start flowing in. So we've got a Knight of Pentacles and we've got the Judgment card. So again with Scorpio energy, and then we also have strong Earth energy. Riding the wave, things are just starting to pick up pace. Either this person is now able to start like um this is about reconciling things. Yes, the Judgment card, we reconcile, we put things back in order, we put things back together. um there's a lot of positive energy. Either people are showing up from the past, things are getting, I almost want to say things like bank receipts are getting reconciled, finances are getting wrapped up, money that is owed is being returned, possibly to this lead character, and all of this piece by piece by piece, like all the dominoes are falling into place for this character. um if they're if they have an opportunity at this point to perhaps keep in mind, this is all about a character's big plan that they had to, and it was a far-reaching plan. A lot of things had to happen before they get to this point, and they're finally at this point. That's where we pick up this story, is all of their planning is taking shape. And now they're enjoying seeing part of this take shape. It still isn't like a flood. It's not a flood of like, I planned all this and now finally it's all here all at once. No, it still is kind of like a trickle of good things happening for this character. Basically, all the little details that they put into place already that needed to happen, they're all basically like unveiling themselves one by one by one by one, and everything is getting, like I say, debt is getting squared away. Um, you know, the pieces of their plan are really blossoming right now. Let's look at the magic stream, because this is like the universe's that or it's their dreams. There's a flow of like consciousness, or the universe is really like trying to help send some messages now on behalf of this person as well. We just got the 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. I don't know if this person is like it feels like a very spiritual read in one respect, even though um here's how I would describe this story. We have possibly a divine masculine who has used their spiritual emotional self to put things into action in the 3D world. A lot of what they wanted, it's like this person really focused on it. This person really did their best to envision the future that they wanted to have. Now, it doesn't mean that they didn't also take, you know, tangible, actionable steps in the 3D world as well. But it started from in here and in here. And now that they have created a roadmap for themselves, and we see them having this roadmap, really blossom, now we get to that magic stream, and this is like their flow of consciousness is more potent now. It's like once you get on a roll and you're manifesting things, it just kind of keeps expanding, is what this is saying. And I think that they're sending, I don't know, we'll call it telepathy or just energetic waves toward a person, kind of saying, that all that time that was apart, that all that stuff that didn't happen, all of that icy cold missed opportunity or something. Well, the future is going to look different. Just I'm hold on, I'm coming. The future is going to look a lot different. It's going to be really successful. There's something here about, it's like they're trying to project this, send this reassurance out there to someone. I feel like they are wrapping up cycles and tallying up debts and repaying things and having things repaid to them, and now they're turning their attentions and their energy toward whomever this person is that they had a 5 of Pentacles moment with. Give me another card on this. Who is this person that they're sending that magic stream of consciousness to? Um, well, on this Wheel of Fortune, you notice how we have like these ghostly individuals up there, and we actually have like it's as if this person is trying to transmit an idea that I've been working really, really hard. and my ancestors have been on my side, and I want you to sense that, the same thing. Like, I don't know if this character who is representing this Wheel of Fortune is maybe picking up some of the vibe that they're putting out, that I've been working hard. I know you have too. Somehow there's a little bit of I've been watching over you somehow, energetically speaking. We've got the Seven of Cups. There's a lot that this person can't transmit with words. There's a lot of almost like confusion about how do they're just kind of sending off these broad waves of emotion. Like, I want someone to get the message that I listened to my heart. I've been working on things. I'm finally ready to start, like, things are going well in this plan that I've had. It's finally, divine timing has arrived. It's a little bit like somebody is sending out the vibe that says, I'm on my way. And yet that whole message could be very confusing, because there's like this spiritual element to it, but there's nothing tangible yet. So it's just, I don't know if this divine masculine is I'm not sure why they haven't like made something more concrete, and they might be projecting this to family members or a loved one. We don't really know yet. We don't see exactly who this is. We have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, they're not taking physical action yet, but they're sending forth these like thought waves or something. All right, so tell me about the details. And I feel like for details, we need to change decks here. Let's go with this one. What are the details all about? Thinking out a plan, starting to see it come together is only one part of it. Five of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot more, like, I'll say, strategy involved. There's a lot more that really, one piece at a time, the puzzle has to all fit together. This all has to be handled. I'll even say strategically. There are lots of people in this. Even when we saw that Seven of Cups, we saw some confusion in here. We see this individual very much wrapping up a chapter of their life to gain their own personal freedom. But at the same time, they're sending out a vibe that says, I'm almost done. I'm almost coming your way. To whomever they were, it wasn't the right time for them to either connect with someone. Nothing was working out right. And they still haven't started to do the small detail work of how to now, live in this sense of freedom. So they've gained it at this point. They're wrapping up a cycle, but to actually move forward toward whomever it is that they're sending those energy waves toward, they really still have to work out the logistics of that. That's where the details comes in. Four of Swords. And with this, they may be having to be really conscientious about that person. If they are trying to connect with someone, yeah, and they are definitely trying to connect with someone. We just got the Judgment card again and the King of Swords, a feminine king. If this divine masculine has arranged their life in such a way that they're finally able to start turning their attention to, what are they going to do next? They've been sending out those thought waves that I'm almost free of something. I've almost arranged something. And now, how do I come forward in the 3D realm with intention? There's a lot of logistics. I might need to come in and not either disrupt maybe this King of Swords healing, or maybe this is a King of Swords who's trying to come forward. Maybe this is still our divine masculine, but they are cognizant that they have to approach with care and with caution, is what I would say. If they're going to have they've got a lot to explain, is what I would say, with all the winding path that they took. And it just kind of looks like handling something with care, handling this is the most critical point of what it is that they wanted to achieve, right? They wanted to get their freedom. They wanted to wrap up a cycle, and then they wanted to send out some energetic message to someone to tell them I'm on my way. And now how they approach is probably the most important aspect of this. What they're approaching for is an offer of love here. So this looks very much like I did not know this was still going to go down the road of just a love reading. I was thinking at the beginning it was like somebody just changing their life and that was going to be the main focus. But Seven of Cups, they're aware that there's still a lot of explanation that's going to be needed, and how they explain things could kind of make it or break it. It's almost like they need to be aware of all the details. I don't know if they're going to be communicating with someone who's going to ask them a bunch of questions and they're like, okay, I have to have answers for everything that they're going to ask. Tell me about that Seven of Cups. Ace of Swords. It's very much about speaking truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. And I almost feel like this is so much deeper because he wears a galaxy coat and his head is a nautilus shell. It's not like this person is trying to decide, okay, how much do I say to this person that I now want to return to? How much do I tell them? Or how much do I withhold? It's not that. It's like, at last, I can start to like express everything about myself to this person. And where do I even begin? How do I tell them the entire winding story that I've had? How do I express every detail? I want this person to know every detail. That's part of what this whole reconciling is. I want to, it's like I want to tell you where I've been. I want to tell you about my life. I want to tell you everything. I don't want any secrets here. I want you to understand me. And where do I begin that story? So this character really wants to be able to tell their whole life story and all the details. But it's also the strategy of how do I come forward when where do you begin a story? And I think that their objective is to make sure that they heal something with whomever their person is. Can I see who their person is? The World, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Wands. Someone who started a new cycle without them. Someone who could be a Capricorn, doesn't have to be. Someone that they stressed out in a really big way, or had been very stressed out and very wounded. Someone who, I don't know if there was a lot that came at this person. A lot. And maybe they've changed a lot of things in their life over and over again, and reinvented themselves. They could be someone who's living at quite a distance. That could be why we had them wanting to be able to free themselves enough to travel now. But if this is describing the object of their affection, the person that they are saying, I'm coming towards you. This person is someone who's been through the ringer. They've been through a lot. So for them to come toward this person, I can understand why there's a lot of details involved. There's a lot that needs to be handled just right. Is there anything else on this one? This one is it's a strange one to tell the story of. We've got, again, a feminine King of Wands. Really, there's got to be a huge amount of love. There's got to be a huge amount of warmth. I think that that's what they want to give off. I think that's what they want to receive. But there is a need for a lot of warmth here, and a lot of, obviously, transparency and truth. But the biggest thing is this person's very passionate about this, obviously, because they put this into play a really, really long time ago. They had a bunch of things that they needed to tend to in order to be able to be who they are today, where they're headed today. But yeah, the way in which they come forward is going to be extremely important. Why are they sending off that whole magic stream of consciousness? Why are they doing that before they even approach? Page of Pentacles, the Hermit, because they feel like their person, I'm surprised we don't have like a Two of Cups card. They feel as if their person is like very tapped into the consciousness. They're, if they are a hermit, could be a Virgo, doesn't have to be, but they are somebody who they're kind of one in a billion. They see this person as an individual who they can pick up on things at a higher plane, and they are trying to send in like an initial message, and literally there, this is so abstract, but it's almost like we're telling a story of somebody who is sending these energetic waves toward the person that they're thinking so much about, and perhaps it even comes in the form of like this person gets these little signs and signals here and there. And here we have like a little dragonfly landing on this blooming peony. Well, this is peony season for sure. Peonies are going to be popping up pretty darn quick here and blossoming. They're springtime flowers. But it's like they are trying to send out energetic thoughts toward their person even now, to hopefully like have this person pick up on the fact that I'm thinking of you. I've always been thinking of you. And at this point, I don't know. I'm wondering if they're hoping that this person stays like single until they get there. You notice how this mermaid is up here on the lighthouse, and ships are sailing around looking for her, and it's like they want to reserve their spot and say, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So I don't know if this character, and this could be a divine feminine. We do have a divine feminine twice here. I don't know if she's going to start noticing little signs and signals. Oh, I can't think of who sings it, but there's that song Lighthouse, or I Believe the Light On, I think is the name of it. It's not, the lyrics don't necessarily fit, but there's something about like, leave the lights on for me, like I'm coming home, make sure I can find you. That kind of vibe is what they're sending out. Um, it's as if they're just trying to let her know that they're coming, and they feel like she'll understand that, because somebody who's on the hermit's journey is very they're very tapped into all kinds of, like esoteric and deeper understanding and contemplating things at a profound level. And in this case, the dragonfly is saying, the dragonfly represents action being taken. So it's like they're trying to project their thoughts, saying, I'm about to take action. I really am. Just please don't let any of those other ships find you before I do, because I'm on my way, and leave the light on just for me. That's kind of the vibe that I get. That's a big ask, perhaps, but that's what they're sending out. They're hoping that there's going to be that. I don't know why they aren't saying anything yet, other than we see that they have a much to strategize about how to come forward. I want to go back to that strategizing card. This is the details. Tell me about that strategizing card. What's the Five of Wands about? Because this is now their preparation to come forward to the person who they really want to be with. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. Wow. So they are very, very much collecting their thoughts about how to handle opening up this dialogue with whomever their person is, whether they're being represented by the World card or the Hermit card, whomever I'm going to go ahead and say is their divine feminine, just because we saw feminine on all three of those cards. They're really putting a lot of thought and effort into like either putting themselves in her shoes and knowing full well how much there is to like refresh, renew, end all kinds of confusion. I mean, these are going to be massive, massive conversations. So if they're strategizing now, first it was, how do they close a cycle? How do they move forward? And now they're on the cusp of saying, okay, I'm about to step forward. How do I open up this dialogue when there's so many things that have to still be discussed, pain that has to be closed, burdens that have to be dropped before I can even get this to be healed with my person? And then, only then, will they maybe allow me to offer my love. So this person is, I would say that they're being very mindful of just how much there's going to have to be healing before there can be an offer of love. Tell me about that King of Swords. 9 of Cups. Well, This King of Swords seems to be somebody who would be highly organized, even in, I mean, they may be very rigid thinker. You notice how this looks like a wish fulfillment card, right? But does it look that comfortable? To me, not at all. None of this has ever looked like a great, happy situation. Now, her hair is completely, again, stacked with all these peonies. That's the part where there's love. Flowers represent romance and love. But everything else in this is restrictive. It's almost like this King of Swords, either they stayed in a really restrictive place, dealt with things in a really restrictive way. They played the long game. They had this big old huge plan of how everything needed to go, and all the while they're like, yes, but I'm doing it because my big plan is I'm doing it for love. That's my wish fulfillment. So this King of Swords, I mean, Kings of Swords can be pretty ice cold logic. And in their mind, it's like, well, I'm doing this for the right reason. I'm doing it for love. So it's almost like I'm already in a loving relationship, but you're not. And you're not there with your person when you're over here dealing with this other stuff that you've put in action. I don't know. This person seems like there's someone who, if you were going to say, we're going to make breakfast, this person says, okay, well, you can't begin doing anything until you have every ingredient and it's all lined up. If you're going to make toast and eggs, okay, the pan, the eggs, the oil, the cheese has to be grated before you can even, think about warming up the pan or cracking the eggs. You're going to make toast, okay, fine, but you have to have the toaster out, you have to have the bread out, you have to have the butter sitting there, you have to, they may be like, you can't just jump into the kitchen and just start cooking. They are everything in a line, and then you have to time it just right. The eggs will take this long, the toast takes this long, so you push down the toast button at exactly, whatever moment in time you're about to flip the egg over. Like, they could be that narrow visioned and intent with a card like this. Okay, that is so not the way I cook, by the way. I'm like, well, I cook like my hair looks, okay? You just pile it up and you see what happens. But we're describing, oh my gosh, and there's a Justice card. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius could be, I mean, that was the King of Swords that we were just talking about. This person could be a Libra, doesn't have to be, but in doing things only one way, which is their way, they may not be very good about contemplating that that's not fair for everyone involved. But they don't know another way to do things. And so no matter what, this still says there is a lack of fairness here. There is something that is very unfair in the way someone perhaps operates. And even this, their head is the cloud. Yeah, see, they might have caused a lot of grief because of the way, you notice how their head has all these clouds attached to it. It's like they can think of stuff and they do it so unemotionally that whatever program they decided to operate on, whatever plan they made, they were just like, yeah, it doesn't matter, that's what I'll be doing. And it's really unfair to not consider another person if it involves another person. So this was a difficult character to perhaps work with. And yet here's the thing, here's the great bonus to this character. As they are thinking about coming forward now, they are being just as fine-tuned and organized about, okay, here's how I win my person back. Details. I have to first approach them and I have to explain everything that ever happened so that they'll fully understand. And then I have to promise them that I don't have to deal with any of that stuff anymore. So now there is no more stress. And then we can lay down those burdens. Then I can go ahead and I can see that my person will heal. And maybe they're even like, and I will take them on a vacation and we will go to a spa and, whatever it will be, and they will rest in my arms and it will be okay. And then we will reconcile and I will explain all the other details about who I am in my life. And then I will tell them that I love them. And then we will be very happy. It's almost like even that they've laid out, they have to have everything in order first, everything in order. I don't know why that's such an important part of this story, but well, I know why, because those are the cards we got. And so that's the story I've got. I'm going to leave this one here because if you guys want a part 2 on this one, just write part 2 or, type the number 2 on the screen in the comment section. If we want to see how does the recipient of this behave? You know, that divine feminine. How are they going to handle this? This is the only thing that's different about this story, because we've had this come up so many times, especially recently. But one thing that I think is different about this is that we've really kind of went diving into who that King of Swords character was. And I think that that's kind of an intriguing thing to see a person who every step that they take is so orchestrated, so planned, so heavily. And that's one thing I don't think we've ever like seen a character where we got that much like insight into where this character, how they operate, why they operate the way they do. So if I do a part 2, I would probably look a little further into if they are making an overture and they have this plan to win back their person and to be with their person, how does that work for these two? We haven't even talked about their person yet, very much anyway, but what would that be like, working with someone who is that logical and that, kind of rigid and one track minded? What would that look like for these characters to try to come into harmony and union? Would they be successful? That there are big questions about this. So that's what I would look at, is the success or the shape of their union if they do indeed move into union. That's what I would do in part 2 myself. Anyway, guys, you can let me know if you're interested in a part 2 for the storytelling aspect of it. As I always say, I am a fictional storyteller. I am not a psychic. I don't pretend to be. That would be wrong, because I am not one. That is not my gift, and I won't take it away from those who do have that gift. What I have is the art of storytelling, and I'm very proud of that, and I love it. And I always hope that my storytelling brings up, interesting new concepts. That's what I look for anyway in storytelling. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do, and if you're here, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Lets me know you like it and want me to keep going, and then I will. All right, take care, and I will be putting out a video for every single zodiac, kind of like in honor of Easter, hence the kind of like Eastery backdrop. So, all right, guys, I'll see you again soon. Bye.